So today we will be discussing about the certain quizzes which is related to input-output interfacing. Now the first question is approach to a device selection using an 8-input NAND gate has the disadvantage. What kind of disadvantage we are able to get if we are using NAND gate for the device selection? As you have seen, there are two ways by which the device can be selected by connecting the address lines. One is through NAND gate and another is through the decoder circuit. So what kind of disadvantages which we will be getting by using the NAND gate? We have the option that having multiple address for the same device, wastage of address, having same address for the multiple device, having multiple address for the multiple device. And the answer is, if we are using 8-bit NAND gate for selection of the device, then we can get multiple addresses of the same device. In the last, when we were discussing about input-output interfacing, you have seen that if there are certain input lines which are put in the don't care condition, in that case, you will be getting the multiple addresses for the same device. The second one is we can select output port by decoding some of the address lines. That is called which kind of decoding it is. When all the address lines are used for the selection of the port, that kind of decoding is known as absolute decoding. But when we were using only few address lines for the decoding purpose, for selecting a particular port, that is called partial decoding. So the correct answer is partial decoding. The 8085 microprocessor has two kinds of instruction for data transfer between processor and the input-output device. Of course, we will be using certain data transfer instructions while working with the input-output device with the processor. So naturally, there are two instructions, in and out instructions, which are used to communicate for transferring of the data between processor and the input-output device. So the correct answer is first one, that is input-output device. Because in instruction is used to read the data from the input device for the microprocessor, and out instruction is used to transfer the data from the microprocessor to the output device. The fourth question is opcode fetch takes how much T states? Now, let us understand that what is the meaning of opcode fetch. And before we are going to know about the opcode fetch, we should know what is opcode. Basically, the instruction is made up of two parts. One is opcode, another is operand. Opcode gives the information to the microprocessor that what you have to do. And operand is a kind of entity on which the operation has to be performed. So normally the opcode fetch operations, 3 T states are required to fetch it. Whenever we fetch the opcode, we take 3 T states to read it, to fetch it. And the 4th T state is required for execution of the opcode which is being fetched. So in totality, opcode fetch operation takes 4 T states. in comparison to memory read operation, which takes only 3 T states. So the correct answer is 4. Decode the address bus to generate a unique pulse corresponding to the device address on the bus. And that is called, which kind of pulse that is called? So whenever we decode the address bus, a unique pulse is being generated. And that unique pulse is known as device address, input-output address pulse. Input-output address pulse is the unique pulse which is being generated by decoding the address bus. So the correct answer is input-output address pulse. Because this input-output address pulse is again concatenated or again ANDed with the either read control signal or the write control signal to generate a pulse that is called as input-output select pulse. But since we are talking about the decoding of address bus to generate a unique pulse, and that pulse is known as input-output address. If you remember, it is known as IOADR, input-output address pulse. So the correct answer is input-output address pulse. Next question is, in input interfacing, whenever we are interfacing an input device, then the port will be which kind of port we are using. We know there are 2 kinds of ports. Either it is a tri-state buffer or it is a latch. Latch is used when the output device is being connected. And input, when we are using input device, so we will be using tri-state buffer. So the correct answer is tri-state buffer. All 8 address lines are decoded to generate one unique output pulse, and that is known as absolute decoding, because absolute decoding is going to use all the address lines to be used for the decoding purpose. In partial decoding, only few of the address lines are used, but in absolute decoding, all the address lines are being used. The 8085 microprocessor places the address of the input port on which bus? Whether it is lower order bus, it is higher order bus, or it is both lower order and higher order. Correct answer is both lower order and higher. Whatever address which we have to send, either for the input port or for the output port, it is the address which is placed on lower order and the higher order bits. So both the higher order bits as well as the lower order bits are being used to address the input port. Arrange the code in proper order so that it will be able to find 2's complement of a number. It means we have to write a program by which we are able to find the 2's complement of a number. So for getting the 2's complement of the number, the first and the foremost process is to read the number, is to load the number. So naturally, LDA 0700 will be the first instruction. After loading the content into the accumulator, we have to do the 2's complement. So first of all, we have to take the first complement by using CMA. And then after taking the 1's complement, since we have to get 2's complement, we will increment it. And then After the incrementing, the result will be stored in the form of a 2's complement into the accumulator. We will store that number at a certain memory location, and then it will be going to halt. So the correct sequence will be 4, 2, 5, 1, and 3. So the correct answer is 4, 2, 5, 1, 3. During input-output write machine cycle, specifically in second T state, what will be the values of the signal? Whenever we are doing input-output write, so input-output write means input-output write must be 0, write must be 0, read must be 1. And since we are working with input-output memory, so input-output is a higher pulse and memory is the lower pulse. So it will be 1. So this one is the correct answer, in which input-output oblique memory is 1, read is 1, write is 0, and input-output write is also 0. A device that enables the microprocessor to read the data from the external device. Normally, the external devices are used for providing the data as an input device, or it is working as an output data to receive the information. So out of these devices, which device is going to read the data from the external device? The device that enables the processor to read the data from the external device. So in this case, printer is an output device, display is an output device, reader is an output device, joystick is the input device. So correct answer is B, joystick. The example of the output device is, which of the devices are output device? CRT display, 7-segment display, printer, or all? CRT is an output device which displays something which is being fed. 7-segment is again an output device. Printer is again an output device. So all these 3 devices are the output devices. So the correct answer is D. The input and the output operations are respectively similar to the operation. Whenever input means read, output means write. So the correct answer is C. If we want to input, it is a read. If we want to output, it is a write. The operation input, output, write, read, active low performs what? IOWR is a control signal. And if it is low, what does it mean? Whether it means write operation on input data, and we know this option is wrong, because write operation is not done on the input data. Write operation on the output data. Read operation, since it is a write operation, so the B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Next question is the latch with the IC 74LS373. Whenever we talk about the latch is used with the output. So it cannot be related with the input. It will be related as an output. And output, always we use latch. So it is a good output port. So the C is the correct answer. While performing the read operation, one must take care that much current should not be while performing any read operation, we have to take care that current should not be where? It should not be sourced or synced from the data lines, because whenever the current is being sourced or the synced from the data lines, it means it will not be able to read the data. So while performing the read operation, one must be very much aware that much current should not be sourced, as well as it should not be synced from the data lines. To avoid loading during the read operation, the device used is, whenever we do read operation is being done with the help of input port. And we know input port is always a buffer, a tri-state buffer. So the correct answer is the tri-state buffer. The chip 74LS245, what kind of chip, what kind of working it used to do? It is a bidirectional buffer. If it is a bidirectional buffer, it is also used as an input 8-bit input port, one that has 8 buffers. So all are the correct answers. So D is the correct answer, which showing that all the mentioned. 747LS3 is a latch, and 74LS245 is always a buffer. In 74LS245, if DIR is 1, then direction is from which place to which place. Whether it is going from input to output, whether it is going from output to input, whether it is going from source to sink, or it is going from sink to source. The first one is, since we are talking about 245 and 245 is a buffer, so it is coming from input to the output. The direction, if DIR is 1, it means it is coming from input to the output. In memory mapped scheme, device are viewed as. Device means we talk about the peripheral device. Which device? So in memory mapped, the devices are viewed as not as a distinctive input output, because we know that in memory mapped input output, all the devices are considered as a memory. So B is the correct answer because it will be considered as a memory location. B is the correct answer. #21. How many types of interfacing? We know there are 2 types of interfacing. One is input-output mapped input-output, and second one is memory mapped input-output. So the correct answer is 2. In which type of communication the interface gets a single byte of the data from the microprocessor and sends it bit by bit to other system serially and vice versa? In which type of communication interface gets a single byte of the data from the microprocessor and sends it bit by bit to the other system serially? So naturally, since we are working with we are taking single byte bit from the microprocessor and sending it to the other device. So it is a serial communication interface. In which mode the CPU periodically reads an internal flag of 8279 to check whether any key is pressed or not with the key pressure? So naturally, it is a pooled mode, because in case of pooling, processor is always busy in checking whether the key has been pressed or not. Key has been pressed, or controller is busy to check whether the key has been pressed or not. So ultimately, that process is called pooling. So this is a pooled mode. The correct range of frequency for 8257 is 250 megahertz to 3 megahertz. The C is the correct answer. 250 hertz to 3 megahertz. Direct memory access channel facilitates data to move in and out of the system. On which basis? With either it works on first come first serve basis, or equal delay time, with a subroutine, or without a program intervention. Naturally, it is a without a program intervention, because whenever we do any direct memory access data transfer, and data memory access channels is going to facilitate the data to move from one place to another place, there is no intervention of the program. So D is the correct answer. Without any intervention of the program, the data transfer used to take place. To interface a slower memory, wait states are added by. You know that ready signals are used to do that. But whether the ready signal will be low or ready signal will be high. So since ready signal is a negatively activated signal, so this kind of process to interface a slower memory by adding some wait state can be done by causing the ready signal to go low. That's all about the input-output interfacing quizzes. The register that holds the data byte transfers to be carried out is that register which contains the data bytes to be transferred. It is available in which register? So naturally, it is available in the current word register, because it is the current word register whose data bytes are being transferred. When the count becomes 0 in the current word register, how the count word register becomes 0? So count word register becomes 0 when there is an end of process is generated. So C is the correct answer. The current address register is programmed by CPU, by which means whether it is a bitwise, it is a bytewise, it is a bitwise and bytewise, or none of these. Correct answer is it is bytewise, because byte by byte information is being written in a current address register. So it is a bytewise. Which of these register content is used for auto initialization internally? For doing the auto initialization process, it is the base register, base address register, which is responsible for the auto initialization process, because when there is an auto initialization process, this content of the base address register is copied in the current address register. The register that maintains an original copy of respective initial current address register and the current word register is, naturally, it is a base address register where all these initial values of current address and as well as the current word count is being stored. The register that can be automatically incremented or decremented after each DMA transfer. The register that can be automatically incremented or decremented. It is neither the mask register, nor the mode register, nor the command register. It is the current address register which is being incremented or decremented, because once one byte has been transferred from an address, it has to be incremented or decremented for sending the next byte. Which of the following is a type of a DMA transfer? Of course, the memory read is not a DMA transfer. Memory write is not a DMA transfer, but verify, memory read is a DMA transfer. Memory write is also a DMA transfer, and verified transfer is also a DMA transfer. So all these three are DMA transfer. So D is the correct answer. So that's all about some of the questions which are related with the direct memory access data transfer.